Now the rest of the movie. So it starts off, everybody's defeated. Everybody's he's all mad. They find, and then of course Tony and Nebula are brought back by Captain Marvel, and they, which completely retcons that end scene in the previous Captain Marvel movie, where she just runs into her room. Oh, where's blah blah blah. And basically everything they have to do that has to do with that pager. Come to think of it, because other than him just signaling it, this movie just basically retcons anything regarding them finding the pager, them using the pager to try maybe to figure out what's blah blah blah. But well, that end credit scene was completely worthless. I'm pointing out some scenes that they could have, like, you didn't need that scene, Disney. You could have saved how much money by not doing that scene, Disney. So anyway, so they kill Thanos. After he tells them, I used the stones to destroy the stones, which is like, brings up the why the F didn't they decide to destroy the stones then? They knew where the stones were. Thor knew where the one, I don't even remember what the hell the red stone was, because they had to go back to Thor. That thing. Loki's got the Tesseract. Well, at least in one. Oh, by the way. Well, I'll get to that when I get to the time travel stuff, which I hate time travel. So anyway. So after we see where everyone is, Tony is basically married with a kid. Captain America is hosting or in a discussion ring about what happened. Hawkeye's going around killing people, basically being a twist of the Punisher and Green Arrow from CW in the first two seasons, when he was just was a murdering maniac. Let's see. The only, I'm not gonna lie, Black Widow was running, basically doing Nick Fury's job. Like, she had, okay, what are you doing? What did you find? Did you find anything? No. Did you find any? I also love how they called out how they tried to explain where Captain Marvel was during everything else. But, yeah. Well, she keeps having to, basically, it's a lot harder for her because she's trying to find all these plans and stuff. So, so that's basically that. Everybody's doing their own little thing. Bruce freaking, we got Professor Hulk. I hate Professor Hulk. This freaking thing of Hulk and Bruce mentally deciding, you know what, screw this, and did the fusion dance from DBZ. And then we get Professor Hulk, who's a goddamn pansy ass bitch. Doesn't. It's. This is Professor Hulk is basically Bruce Banner, who Bruce Banner basically went on freaking gamma radiated steroids for the funsies of it. That's it. Now, I've heard that this has happened before, and I'm an outsider looking in because here's some things before I go on. As I've said before in other videos, the MCU has become the same movie over and over again, to the point that even their posters are all looking the same. Where it's got all the characters looking off in different directions and posing and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but we had that and this is, and it's either really colorful or really dark. There's no in between. So, I wasn't invested. I had the thing spoiled, like I said. So, anyway. So, yeah, that's, where was I? Oh, Professor Hulk, screw that guy. Oh, and Thor and his people are now in New Asgard. Where Thor's supposedly the king. It's like the king of. That's another thing. Irritates me for different reasons, and I'm spilling cotton candy all over me. It's just like a fat ass. So Thor's basically the Big Lebowski, and they even made that comment in there in the movie. So like that. Like, it is bad how often I was like sitting there wanting to say something, and they actually freaking came out and made a comment about it. So, but anyway, eventually Ant-Man appears because time travel in the quantum realm. Frickin' frackin' frick. So, apparently turning small can allow you to travel through time, which he did. So he ends up showing up and talking to him and like, hey, we can do time travel and stuff. And it's and we get to when they bring it up to Tony later on. Is like, I love this part because they're explaining it to him, and they're like, well, it's not like we're going to make bets and stuff in the past and blah blah blah. And Tony's immediate response, because I turned to the people my friends I was with, and said, this is some freaking what is this, Back to the Future? And then Tony freaking goes, so your entire theory is based on Back to the Future, which I was like, oh my god. I'm so glad that the movie's like down with that kind of stuff. Oh man. So anyway. So Tony initially doesn't want to do anything about it. Goes back and they do their own thing, and there's a scene where they try to send Ant-Man to the past, but instead they keep like extending time through him rather than him through time, and then it's of course Tony who eventually comes around, because he's like, okay, because his wife and everybody's saying, well, he doesn't want to lose what he's got, which, understandable, it's okay. But he can't stand the fact that he could help these people, he won't, so he ends up getting his stuff, gets his shit in order. He puts all his shit in a bag, takes it with him. Gets rid of all the other shit he doesn't want. So, yeah, he does that. So, after that, yeah. He eventually, he tells them off, and they make everything. They do everything. So, yeah. They make a time machine that works. Now, okay. I'm I hate time travel as a story element because to me it's like the epitome of we wrote ourselves into a corner and we have no freaking idea how to get ourselves out of it. As far as he destroyed the stones, I'm like, that immediately puts Thanos on a whole different level of villainy. Because it's like, this is a villain that actually knows what's going on. It's not like, because he didn't have it like in a shelf or anything. But the time travel thing, God, I fucking hate the time travel thing. Time travel just feels like a lazy thing to me. It works sometimes when it's played up for laughs, but and the time travel thing in this movie, it didn't bug me, but at the same time, it left a little bit open, like Loki disappears with the Tesseract, and Captain beat his own ass, beat his own America ass. That was a good one, which I'm surprised no one freaking flipped out of that. Freaking dumbasses. So Captain America beats his own ass, which happens to, he says, is America's ass. So he kicked America's ass, but he has America's ass on him, so he... I almost went cross-eyed there. Just don't think of it. That's basically. But, so, now I've been mentioning Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is a huge way of putting this. Because when Banner goes for the Time Stone, it's relayed to him from Doctor Strange's mentor, fucking idiot, that you can't just take these things out. Because if you take them out, you're going to see this line here? If you just take this thing out, you create an alternate reality. So, Avengers Endgame runs on Dragon Ball Z Android Saga logic, where no matter what you do, shit's gonna hit the fan. Like, no matter what, in that series, no matter what Trunks did, his version of Earth was still fucked. Doesn't matter what it does. Multiverse thing here. So whatever they do, Thanos, the Thanos they know, he's dead and he's already done everything. So when we get to the big fight scene, it's not their Thanos, it's an alternate universe's Thanos, which just had his entire time fucked. Because that Thanos doesn't exist now. That Thanos doesn't find the stones. That Thanos doesn't... That Thanos was probably also trying to get into... no, because he does the spiel speech later during the fight about how he doesn't normally... Yeah, so never mind about that. So, yeah. So we've saved... They saved their universe, the people in their timeline. Take the stone, and I'm getting ahead of myself again. But basically, the end of the thing, they save their own timeline. They write their timeline but they completely fuck over that other timeline because now there's no Thanos. His armies are completely destroyed, and the only person left that's going to remember anything is Gamora, who probably is never going to. No, because there's no reason for Thanos to have any in that timeline. There's no reason for Thanos to have anything to do with the what's Rodin's the accuser. Rodin the accuser. The accuser. So there's no reason for Thanos to have anything to do with that. There's no reason for 2014. Okay, so that did happen after the first Avengers movie. So as far as anyone knows, Thanos is still around, but for some reason just disappears in that timeline. Yeah. Something that actually... I don't know, I kind of want to see a movie about that. Or something. Anyway.